Hey everyone, welcome back to Build a Better Adventure. In this particular video, we're going to talk about one of my favorite RPG systems, and that is Shadow the Demon Lord. I've only been playing it for about 18 months, but it has quickly rose up the charts of the RPGs that I really, truly enjoy. Before we go any farther, I do want to take a moment and just show you that yes, this book is definitively on my shelves. I have it on PDFs, I have it in Fantasy Grounds, and I have it on Foundry as well. So I'm not kidding when I say I think this is a fantastic game. This is not a paid promotion. I just want to give a shout out about it. Plus, it ties directly to both a campaign and a convention level game that I'm creating. So let's do a quick overview about what you're going to have in this particular video. The first one is going to be playing the game. What are the incredibly great things that I love about this particular RPG system? I want to talk about how there's not truly enough campaigns for this system, how I'm trying to fix it, although it might be a design of the game that keeps people from wanting to play really long campaign type adventures. The next thing is, for my campaign, I ended up creating an intro encounter, and I want to explain how that intro encounter became a convention game. So when you're playing the game, I just wanted to explain that Shadow the Demon Lord is a rules-light game. So super amount of variability on how character development occurs, but the base concept is you have a D20, a stat modifier, and boons and banes, and that answers everything, whether you're trying to hit or having a challenge roll to determine if you can see something, or if you are trying to escape a fireball, or etc, etc, etc. Super compact. If you can just think stat bonus D20, some D6s to either provide banes and boons, you pretty much know the rules to the game. Opponents are way more lethal than you are. And I put in the parentheses from software because I equate this to having the equivalent of having a Dark Souls or Elden Ring video game, but in an RPG form. Player initiative in the game is chosen, so there's different groupings. The players can go fast or slow. Your opponents go fast or slow. That's the 4 different initiative blocks. You choose, and it helps actually set up combos within the game. Varied character paths, and this is where I go back to that it is a rules-light game, but it doesn't prohibit you from having incredible variability in the types of characters that you generate. You end up having to pick a novice, an expert, and a master path, and you get special abilities and bonuses to your attributes as you continue to walk through the various levels. This is epic opportunities for all sorts of heroics, and again, it's because you kind of know as you're going into encounter, this isn't a fair fight. The Demon Lord and all his minions, if the game is designed correctly, let me be very clear about this, are better than you. And so when you have a win, it's not just, yay, we won. It becomes this amazing sensation that you get for tackling that encounter. Characters can often die in this game, so if you have a low constitution for that, maybe not have this game for you. I would also say probably I wouldn't play with anyone who wasn't, this is like a PG-13 kind of thing. You know, you should be probably 14 or older or 16 and older in order to be playing these particular games. As well as, and I think this is exquisite, that you have a reasonable level 0 character adventure. You have no abilities. You start just with your ancestry. It's level 0 is where you get the absolute most health for any individual level. So you can go out and do an adventure and have no special abilities and kind of determine what you're going to be as you continue to level up. Anyways, I could go on for hours talking about how much I love this game. But I told you guys that we wouldn't go into hyper deep rules consideration in this channel. So for the RPG Shadow the Demon Lord, there's not really enough campaigns. Most of the adventures that you can find out in the wild tend to be rather short. The adventures tend to be more sparse, and I threw a particular poll out on the Discord for Shadow of the Demon Lord, and I was really surprised just how many people play Shadow of the Demon Lord all in Theater of the Mind or with very little actual amenities to the players. And I'm thinking that the fact that it's sparse and it tends to be short, they may be that way for a reason. And again, if the encounter that you have within your adventure is really complicated and someone perishes, you could get to a point as you go from level to level that you don't have anyone that started with the adventure ending up at the end of the adventure, and connecting the story threads at that point may be more complicated. In my campaign, we solved this by having a group of squires go with the adventurers. They're sort of protected, and as characters perish, they are replaced by their squires who have some inkling about the story arc as it's been continuing on. Whether you win or lose in my campaign is entirely dependent on, do you have squires remaining at the end? So for my Shadow of the Demon Lord campaign, I called it Infinite Oasis. The premise is that out of the desolation, a ghost train appears at Neverfell, which is a larger city within this world near the border between the Northern Reach and the Desolation. And on that ghost train, a member of another party that had walked into the Desolation is found murdered with a scrawled note on the train. The magistrate of Neverfell wants the party to go into the Desolation and discover what happened to the other group and discover whether or not a weapon can be found to be used against the Demon Lord. The initial playtesting group never played Shadow of the Demon Lord, so it was really important for me to create an encounter that would just allow them to get used to the combat mechanics. As we've continued playtesting the campaign, I took that initial encounter and blew it out into a full-blown convention game level adventure. And I called it What About the Children? Let's talk about it now. So What About the Children is a full Shadow of the Demon Lord adventure and explores all, or I would say most, of the Shadow of the Demon Lord primary concepts and prompts the game master to help brand new players get used to the game mechanics. We've play tested it twice. We had some minor inclusions only after the first play test. The second play test went through without adding anything, and I actually am excited that we are nearly ready for it to be released into the public. We're going to do one more play test, and I'm switching the characters down so that instead of level 3, they're going to be level 2. I just want to see if for more advanced players or people who have played Shadow of the Demon Lord before, if we shift it down to a level 2, is it still reasonable for them to complete it? I also created alternate endings, so I might play through one of those alternate endings. Initially, What About the Children really and truly was just an encounter on a Word doc, and I took it out of the Word doc, put it into Fantasy Grounds, and developed my way backwards in the game. So when I look at the different formats to completion, I have Fantasy Grounds is 95% complete, not yet edited. PDF is about 60% complete, as I've been pulling things out and putting it into a nice PDF format. Foundry is currently on hold, but I do want to come back to that when I have better access to finding things without going through the books themselves. So as soon as I can get to that, I'll get to Foundry. If you have an interest in this particular game and want it on a particular VTT, comment down below about which of the VTTs we should be taking a look at next. So this adventure in total has 5 maps. It has over 15 primary NPCs. There's even more NPCs than that, but there's 15 primary ones. And then I'm hoping to bring it out in fall of 2025 to Drive Through RPG. We'll also play it live with all my 3D printing at Playthrough in October and MythicCon in November, assuming my request to become a game master go through both of those conventions. Again, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, please make sure you're following or subscribing. Give it a thumbs up, leave me a comment. Next video on Thursday, we will take a deeper look at 3D print STLs we use in our play testing and leave a comment on your favorite RPG system in the section below. Happy Tuesday. Have a good one.